Welcome to Release 3, the Textured Granny Square. It starts off with a 8-chain ring. Reading from the pattern, 3-chain, a 3 double treble bobble. Now we did bobbles in the first release. They were treble bobbles. These are double treble bobbles. So twice around the your hook and in through the center of the ring. Doing 1 loop, 2 loops, not finishing the double treble, and do that 3 more times. So 1, this is number 2. And this is number 3. So along with that first chain, you have 4 arms on this bobble. Yarn over and bring the yarn through those 4 loops. Always the hardest thing to do, that first draw back through the loops. Now do 3 chains and a 4 double treble bobble. 3 chains, double treble, one, 2, 3, 4, yarn over and bring the draw through all 5 loops that are on your hook. Snug it up. Star, chain 5, and do a 4 double treble bobble, 3 chain, and 4 double treble bobble into the ring. Repeat from the star twice more. So 4 double trebles. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, and draw through all 5 loops. Three chain, and another 4 double treble bobble. So repeat from the star twice more and end with a 5 chain, and I will see you there. I'm just about to do my last bobble. There's that pesky tail. Two double trebles. Here comes number 3. Number 4. Oops. Number 4. And yarn over and pull through those 5 loops. So right now you should have 4 groups of 2 bobbles. The 2 bobbles are separated by 3 chains, and then the groupings themselves are separated by 5. So we're going to end up with 5 chains. And slip stitch to the top of the first bobble. And if you just give it a little tug, you'll see that there's the top of the bobble is right in here. Slip stitch into there. And there you go. We're going to continue with the first color for round 2. So slip stitch into the second chain of the first 3 chain space. This is strictly just to move the yarn over to where you want it to be. You want it to be in the center of this 3 chain space. Slip stitch it over, chain 1, and then double crochet into the 3 chain space. So now we're in the right spot and we're ready to go. 9 double trebles into the next 5 chain space. This is number 6. Seven. 8. 9. And then double crochet into the triple chain space, the 3 chain space. So here we're at the end of this round. I just wanted to point out, if you lose your count and you need to count these double trebles in this 5 chain space, just watch that you don't count this pulled up piece of the 3 chain from the row below. Because it's all the same color, it's easy to confuse it. So you ignoring that, there's a little extra space there. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there you go. Make sure you count your double trebles, because now I have to rip back. Here's the end of round 2, and I've finished the end, so that's sort of a tight spot there now. So I'm actually going to move around to the next double crochet and start my new shade there, my carbon. And just by pulling a loop through, there I am, 3 chain, and a 4 treble popcorn. So that's 1 treble into the space where you started the 3 chains. So down through here, one, 2, 3, 4. Extend that loop. Count back 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the top of this, the 3 chains that you did. Make sure you grab 2 loops. Back into the loop of the 4th treble and pull that through. Tighten it up, and there you have your first little popcorn stitch. So star, 2 chains, miss 2 double trebles. So first double treble, second double treble, in the 3rd double treble, do a treble. Chain 2. So miss a double treble, and into the next double treble, do 2 trebles, 3 chains, 2 trebles. So 1 treble, 2 trebles, 3 chains, 2 trebles. And that creates a corner. Two chains, miss 1 double treble and do a treble into the next treble. Two chains, and a 5 treble popcorn into the next double crochet. So a 5 treble popcorn into this double crochet right here. That's 5 trebles. Pull your stitch out a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in through the 5th one back. Pick up your loop and pull it through. Tighten it up. 5 treble popcorn. Repeat from star 3 times, ending last repeat at the double star. So that means we are 2 chain, miss 2 double trebles, and into the next double treble do a treble, two chains, miss a treble. So into this next double treble, we're going to create that corner, which is 2 trebles, three chain, two trebles, two chain, miss 1 double treble and a treble into the next double treble, two chain, and popcorn stitch into the double crochet here. And if you see what's happening, each 9 double treble is cut up into miss 2, treble, that's 3, miss 1, that's 4, corner is number 5 double treble, miss 1, that's 6 double treble, treble into the 7th, miss 2, and popcorn. Does that help at all? So round 4, I've finished off the ends for round 3, my carbon. Round 4, joining in the avocado at the top of one of these popcorn stitches. Chain 3, which counts as 1 treble. Star, 2 trebles into the next 2 chain space. One treble into the next treble. That was in brackets. It says to do that twice. So 2 trebles into the next 2 chain space. And 1 treble into the next treble. So you see there's a treble there. One treble into the next treble. Two trebles, 3 chain, 2 trebles into the next 3 chain space. Another oops. So that's 1 treble, 2 trebles, 3 chain, and 2 trebles. Into the 3 chain space. One treble into the next treble, so right in here. One treble into the next treble, 2 trebles into the next 2 chain space, 1 treble into the next treble, 2 trebles into the next 2 chain space, 1 treble into the top of the popcorn. So what you're really doing is you're doing a treble where there is a treble, 2 trebles into each chain space, and then a treble onto the top of the popcorn. It's just written a little in groupings, but really that's what you're doing. There's a treble. Oops, missed the loop. Two trebles into the chain space. And 1 treble into the top of the popcorn. And if you can see, there is the little space right at the top of the popcorn, and that's where you put your treble. So what it works out to be is with the 3 chain in the corner, there's 2 trebles in that corner, 2 trebles from on the trebles of the previous row, 2 in the space, 1 in the treble of the previous row, 2 in the space, and 1. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the center. Carry on doing that around to the last, to join up at the end, and I'll meet you there. So here we are at the end of the round, and we are doing the 1 treble into the next treble, 2 trebles into the next 2 chain spaces twice. So 1 treble, 2 trebles into the space, one treble into the next treble, two trebles into the next 2 chain space, and slip stitch to the top of the 3 chains at the beginning of the round. So here it is, 1, 2, 3. I actually find this, as you can tell, one of the hardest things to do is to get into these chains, because you do have to catch 2 strands. And I always seem to just catch one, and then I can go back and catch another one. There we go, there's 2. So slip stitch into the top of the 3 chains at the beginning of the round. So as I was saying, you can see here, if this is just a big border of trebles, and each side should have your 3 chain space, 2 into the corner stitch, 2, 2 into the space, 1, 2 into the space, 1 into the popcorn, 2 into the space, 1, 2 into the space, 2, and 2 into the corner with the 3 chain on each side. Okay, round 5, rejoining your second color, in my case, carbon. You and make sure if you're doing what I'm doing and changing the spot where you're joining in your new shades, it has to be right above the popcorn, so it should be the center 10 in from each side. There should be 9. The 10th one is where you join in your carbon. Chain 6, which counts as 1 treble and 3 chain. And do 1 treble into the stitch at the base of the 6th chain. So where I joined in, where you joined in, right down here, 1 treble. So yarn over into the same spot, that leaves you with a little loop there. Star, miss 2 trebles, so miss 1, miss 2, 1 treble into each of the next 3. One, 2, 3. a 5 treble popcorn into the next treble. So into this same stitch, 5 treble popcorn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A 5 treble popcorn. 1 treble into each of the next 3 trebles. So that was 3, missed 2, 3 trebles, that's 5, a popcorn 6, and 3 more trebles, that's 9. So you're covering all 9 trebles from the previous round. This takes you to the corner where we're going to do our 2 treble 3 chain, 2 treble into this 3 chain space. Two treble, 3 chain, 2 treble into the corner 3 chain space. One treble into the each of the next 3 trebles. Get into this first treble right here. Don't miss it. So 1 treble into the next 3. 1, 2, 3, 5 treble popcorn stitch into this next treble. Five, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A 5 treble popcorn. 1 treble into each of the next 3 trebles. Catch the one right up against that popcorn. Miss 2 trebles, and in the next treble, which should be right above the popcorn from the row below, you do 1 treble, 3 chain, and a treble back into that same stitch, right back here. Repeat from the star 3 times, and I'll meet you at the end. Just doing my last 5 treble bobble. If you ever find you're short a stitch on one of these sections, look at your bobbles. Sometimes it's easy to move over and do like 3 trebles in one stitch and 2 trebles in another, and your bobble's actually going over 2 stitches, so check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three trebles. Miss 2 trebles and slip stitch to the 3rd chain of the 6 chains you did at the beginning. So 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch, slip stitch. That gives you that little V in each corner. Do not break off because the round 6 also uses the second color. Okay, round 6. Round 6, continuing with the second color. You slip stitch into the 2nd chain of the 1st chain space to bring the yarn over to where it needs to be to start. So there we go, chain 4. This counts as 1 treble and 1 chain. Star. Missing the next treble, which is this. 1 treble into the next treble, which is this. So over here. One chain, miss next stitch, 1 chain into next stitch 4 times. So 1 chain, miss the next stitch, 1 treble into the next stitch 4 times. So that's 1. There's the next stitch, miss that one, which in this case has the bobble in it, the popcorn, and treble into the next stitch right behind the popcorn. That's 2. Chain, miss 1, treble. 3. miss one, treble, 4, which brings you up to the corner 3 chain space. 2 trebles, 3 chains, 2 trebles into this 3 chain space. One chain, miss next stitch, 1 treble into next stitch 4 times. So 1 chain, miss next stitch, 1 treble into the next stitch 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 'So this next stitch is the popcorn. I'm going to miss that and go into the next one right beside the popcorn. 3, this one, 4. One chain, 1 treble into the second chain of the next 3 chain space. Repeat from the star 3 times more, ending last repeat at the double star. So, miss next treble, this one, treble into the next space. Sorry, stitch. Chain, this one, which is the popcorn, in right beside the popcorn. And we're at the corner. So here I am, I've done the last chain. I've inserted my hook into the top of the third of the 4th chain that we did at the beginning, and I'm going to slip stitch this together. And there is the square done. It's quite an interesting square, isn't it? I learned a lot on this square. squares are starting to mount up. I've done all 8 of the first motif. I've done 4 of the second motif. And I got to be honest with you, it took me a long time to figure out this third motif, and I've done them all because I kept getting mixed up. I wasn't sure what I was doing, so I decided to wait until the very last motif to film. So there you go. I've done a fair few squares, and I think it's time to start blocking. I'm going to finish try and finish the second release motifs, and then get them all blocked and be ready for motif release number 4. I hope my videos are helping any of you who are like me. You can crochet, but sometimes the instructions are confusing, and that's really the big thing about anything, whether it's knitting or crocheting, is reading the pattern and understanding what it's saying to you. So I hope I'm helping you in some way. So until next time, happy crocheting.